Hello, everyone, and welcome to this LinkedIn Live. I'm Sabrina Myers, Hot Hospitality Exchange, and I am joined by quite possibly some of my favorite people from Scandinavia in the Nordics. And we are here to make a very, very special announcement, a Game of Thrones level announcement of the two that you're seeing right now, and their DMCs, independent DMCs, are coming together to conquer the Iron Throne. Now, I'm going to hand it over first to Pedro, who's going to give you a little introduction to Idea Nordic, and then over to Heidi, who's going to give you an introduction to the Mice Gurus. So over to you, Pedro.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Sabrina. So, yeah, I'm Pedro from Idea Nordic. I'm actually the head of international MICE, and we are a very creative TNC and event agency located here in Copenhagen. As you said, we are independent, and we believe in the togetherness, in the partnership, and some other thing that is very important from Idea Nordic is our values that they are very well served with MICE Guru and Heidi. So yeah, that's a little bit of who we are.
Over to you, Heidi.
Hi, I'm Heidi. Sabrina said nobody needs an introduction to either Pedro or you, but I mean, come on. My name is Heidi. I'm Chief Executive Guru at the Mice Guru, and just like Pedro, also a DMC. You like to call it DMC event agency. We call it a DMC and incoming experiential agency because we also love to get a little bit more creative than your regular DMCs out there. So if you are looking for creative, super non-conformational products or journeys and conferences and events in the Nordics now, our alliance is going to strengthen the possibilities that you have up north. We do all kinds of mice, only mice as well, no other leisure tourism or anything like it, but just really your brand activations, conferences, and incentives and large scale events all over Norway.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for the
Okay.
introduction, both of you. Now, I just want to say, you're probably wondering, like, what is Sabrina doing here? Okay. So,
She has a way of getting into stuff.
I
I think
know, it's
so. I
like
think
all of
so
a sudden,
too.
if it's got to do with Scandinavia, somehow I pop up. But so me and Heidi and Pedro actually have known each other for quite a while through various events and connections and relationships. And a lot of it obviously started during the famous P era, as I call it. And it's been a relationship that has been forged over the years now. Wow, years, which is great. And I have had the great experience of having witnessed both Heidi and Pedro's companies at work, delivering events, being part of, for example, Digital Disruptor in Norway, in Stavanger, with Heidi, who was basically my guide to anything and everything Norway. And then Pedro, of course, with Idea Nordic, as we did the Green Mile not too long ago, just last month in Copenhagen. And of course, we've met countless times at various industry events as well. So it's almost like the coming together, like I said, of my two favorite people serving the Scandics. It's very, very exciting. Now, what I want to do say is that, each of you have created experiences. I know for me personally, when I've been in those destinations, which have been creative, they've been innovative, they've been out of the box, and they've certainly challenged me and made me do things that I never otherwise would have ever thought to do.
I know
Now,
where you're going.
because of Pedro, I jumped into, like, I'm gonna say freezing. It wasn't freezing, but it was 10 degrees waters of Copenhagen, which was incredible. And because of Heidi, she's probably pushed me to do more. Every time I meet her, I seem to do something I'm terrified of. And I abseiled down Holmenkollen in Oslo, as well as climbed to the top of Pulpit Rock in Stavanger. So, anyone that knows me knows that I am not normally capable or known to do any of these three things. So,
That's what she says.
if you are looking for a partner in the Nordics, in Scandinavia, for your groups and events, I cannot recommend more these two faces that you see in front of you and these two
Thank you.
organizations. Now, before we want to dig into this a little bit more and kind of find out what is the backstory here. Like, how did this happen? How did this come
Yes.
about? What, tell us that backstory.
Of course. I mean, Heidi and I, we also know each other for some years already. And we've been sending business across, but just like, hey, I received something from Norway. Can you help out with it? And then, hey, I received something from Norway. Can you? And so we've been sending business our way, and we thought, why don't we make this official? Why don't we let the world know that we are actually partnering officially? So
We have
yeah,
like
that's
a
how we started.
history.
Yes,
We have a history with some other companies and stuff, and then
that's true. That's true as well.
during the P era, we kind of looked at each other from a distance a lot, like always finding each other on these, the virtual hybrid events that we all love to attend, and they're like, well, we're always in the same place, so we must really have the same kind of outlook on things, right? So we're looking for that creativity, for pushing boundaries, for delivering different things, and we found out more and more along the way that we're really similar in our approach. So I really think that this is a wonderful, great match. We were talking about it a lot, about how we put the client's ideology first, the brand first, the goals first. I mean, it's an old story to us, but to many companies, it's not. We still hear all the time that our biggest clients were looking tirelessly for partners who actually understand their vision and are not just selling products. And I think that's what both Idea Nordic and the Mice Guru do very well. We're great listeners. We get called psychologists a lot as well. I mean, I do at least.
Therapists.
So we find the storyline before we actually match to the right place, the destinations, the venues, and everything. I just finished producing the Global Finance Conference for Henkel, which some of people may recognize as a brand. It's a big brand. That was also a competition amongst a lot of agencies, a lot of different countries. And the reason we got it to Oslo with a client that literally knew nothing about Norway to begin with was really the development of the concept and the ideation behind it, and how we connected places to their policies and the pillars and what they were trying to accomplish with that conference, when they in the start didn't really exactly know yet every angle to their content. And then we just created that idea together and eventually got them here. And that process is something that I think Pedro and I have very much in common. Like, we go find those factors and those things that match with the places that we have to offer.
Absolutely.
Right, Pedro?
I can
Yes.
second that in terms of conceptualizing. I think it's a lot of people have that I want to say assumption for destination management companies that they're purely, not transactional, but like they provide the logistics and the base logistics, and they'll get you those reservations, they'll organize the buses, they'll all of those things. But
I love those requests that start with transfers.
exactly. And it's almost like, well, hold on, wouldn't you rather have a partner that thinks way past that connects the dots, that comes up with that concept for you? Because obviously it's you're bringing your team to a completely different destination, and you want to have insiders and experienced professionals on the ground that are able to work with your vision as well as what the destination holds, and interweave sort of like a great concept together and get creative. And that's what both of you definitely do. Now, I know Heidi, you've mentioned Henkel. Pedro, do you want to give us some examples of concepts you've come up with for clients
for
in
us,
the last few months?
For us, we are the kind of agency that when a client come or want to come to Copenhagen and they will think about the Little Mermaids. So we always try to challenge that. It's like, no, I don't want to take you to the Little Mermaid. Of course, we will take you to the Little Mermaid, but there's so many other things that you can get to know the immersive experience into the Danish culture, but not just that. So we're that kind of like we don't do the ABC. Of course, we do, but we try not to challenge. And as you say, Heidi, before those requests just arrive with the transfers, are the one that we know. Okay, there's a challenge, and we are for it. So it's all that creativity out of the box that the relationship with suppliers, like challenge our suppliers to say, you've been doing for 30 years ABC. We want D, E, F, G, H, and helping together how to create that product that will later on be something very unique for the destination. So
Well, Sabrina, you said something nice, your keyword like insiders. That's basically a big topic because we didn't want to become a company that delivers all of Scandinavia on our own. And I think Idea Nordic works the same way. It's impossible. Our destinations are so vast, they are in constant evolution. There's business development happening everywhere. People change. You need to stay on top of your network and your locations, and it's a lot of work to manage one destination. So I would not feel comfortable offering Copenhagen or whatever other place in Scandinavia. And it's the same for Pedro. If you deliver on a specific quality level, you need to be on top of things, and you need to be that insider. You need to know literally everybody, and you need to know how to deliver, but also how to problem solve, who to reach out to, how to handle situations, because we all know that your big corporations are not the type that go on Google search and find answers there, or the Little Mermaid people. They're used to better service level and quality level in both planning and delivery. So it's important that we each stick to our own specialities and knowledge about where we actually are based, and then work together rather than work against each other. That's the basic idea.
exactly, and I think the clients really see from the really beginning how we challenge them, how we get back to them. They already see who we are and how we do things. As you said, for us, it's so important to have the knowledge, the content of who you are. And Sabrina, a lot about Copenhagen, the trends in here, the things that are happening. It's a lot to imagine to. It's not just about Denmark, but to get the same, it's impossible to deliver the same quality. So therefore, this joint force, strong alliance, Game of Thrones
Absolutely.
situation.
And I think also a lot of and I mean, obviously I might know quite a lot about the Scandics, but it is actually quite interesting when you delve deeper. You have conversations, industry level with colleagues, other event planners, when you go to trade shows, how little people actually know about Scandinavia. Like they'll know about like the top line, like, oh yeah, I've been to Oslo, I've been to Copenhagen, but they don't see the full scope of it. They don't see what more can you do in like Denmark as a whole. How can you combine different cities and experiences? Hans Christian Andersen did not come from Copenhagen. He came from somewhere else. And, how do you marry that? And, for example, in Oslo, there's so much art, and there's so much new inventory and new things happening in that space, and not just in Oslo, but all over Norway. And so, like you say, it's very, very difficult to yourselves keep track of it all, right? Because there's so much happening, and every sort of city is starting to grow in terms of their infrastructure and their offering within those two countries. And it's about being able to have, like Heidi said, and I said, insiders in place that are able to not just connect you to what is available in the capital cities, but perhaps conceptualize what your group can do, not just in that capital city, but with everything else around it. The other second tier cities, for example, where there isn't the over tourism, where you can get truly authentic, incredible, sustainable experiences. And I know this is my next question. I know that sustainability and innovation is at the heart of both of your organizations. So Pedro, do you want to tell us a little bit more about how big a focus it is, sustainability for Idea Nordic?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we are, as you Sabrina know already, I guess you Heidi as well, GTO. So we are certified green agency, and we take a lot of pride of it. And we have actually to the colleagues who are I call it the green police, who are it's a common effort, right? Like everyone
Yeah.
at the DNOD, but those two are the one who go into the meetings to get to pass the information how we can get better. So we got this certification back in March, and it's a certification that we just don't get it once and we just relax and yeah, we got it. We had to continue working into it. I mean, for us is easy because it's our personally it's our DNA. So everyone working at the Nordic it's not just sustainability at the workplace, but it's also the sustainability that we do at home in our daily basis. So it's very important in terms of internal practices, but also doing our events for our clients, how we show our proposal, how we send out, what is it that we put in front, challenge again clients in terms of transportation, our suppliers in terms of food, local produced, food waste, etc., etc. So it's something it's super excited, and of course, in a place like Denmark, it's much easier maybe to do this than some other places of the world because we're lucky to have partners who are in the same level that we are. Therefore, we can actually deliver the full packets. But yeah, we are very proud of being certified, and it will be something that we continue to be a Nordic for years.
That is so true, though, Pedro. I mean, we're blessed to already be in the Nordics where people are following that green lifestyle from the beginning. But there are still surprisingly a lot of clients that talk about plastics and recycling to start with, and sustainability is just so much more. And it's really, really important to have that education. We also got the Green Event Strategist accreditation during the pandemic, and it's really, really, really so in depth how we approach each project. It's not just about the zero emission for most of what you can do in transportation, but also just your offsets for the flights, choosing locations and airports that work towards carbon neutrality. It's contributing to the local community, involving as many as possible of the local partners and not importing everything from your country of origin. It's paperless operations. It's using the right technologies. Everything is connected. It's a very big story. And if you implement that from the start, you can really make a huge difference. And as the event industry and meetings industry, we are really responsible to create that change and show clients who haven't been very successful with sustainable events yet how they can do things differently and how it doesn't have to be difficult or necessarily cost much more either.
Exactly. I
Absolutely.
mean, fun fact: when I started at Idea Nordic, I found out the first hour that they don't have a printer, and I was like, "Excuse me, how I'm gonna, I'm gonna review my contract, how I'm gonna check my budgets," and I think it took me because being used to, I've been the one printing contract, printing budget, and then manually checking things, and I think it took me maybe a few weeks, perhaps a month, and I can tell you, you can do it.
Of
You don't need
course.
a printer at the office. Of course, when we have an event, we have a partnership across the road, with the printer shop that we print whatever is needed. But you can survive at the office without having a printer.
Absolutely.
So
It's
that's the
all
thing.
about
It's like
just
all
gotta
the
learn
best
how to
are
use one
clear.
of these bad boys, like to that point where
Exactly.
it's
But
have
try,
it.
try,
Exactly.
try to avoid the printouts on site as well, Pedro. I mean, I was literally saying to one of the last clients now, airport signs. Like, come on, digital signature. Why would you have printouts? Like, why do you need the
Exactly.
paper signs or whatever signs in your buses and everywhere? People can read, give them a digital sign and, trust that they will get to where they
Totally.
want to go, or use humans instead of, paper production and extra
Absolutely.
plastic science, etc. It's just the small details, but all of the small details make a big end result.
Yeah, let's make the difference.
Absolutely. And I think, this is a really, really fantastic example of a strategic and powerful alliance between two independent agencies that are working together for the greater good of event planners worldwide. That sounds very Avengers like, but it's true. And what I want to say is, or my next question is, how do people reach you? Now, I know both Mice Guru and Idea Nordic are very active on social media. They are on Instagram, they're here on LinkedIn, they are on, TikTok as well, I think, at some point.
No, not Idea
And
Nordic, but I know.
so very, very easy to contact both Pedro and Heidi for your Scandinavia needs. And I just want to, I guess, leave the last word over to you guys. What do you want everyone to know going forward about this alliance? And yeah, over to you.
Should I go first? Well, basically,
Sure.
Pedro's friends are my friends are your friends. So now you have a family. If you're thinking
Definitely.
Copenhagen, Norway, Denmark, anything that's connected one year, one, and the next year, the other, just talk to either one of us and it will now be literally the same family. And I'm really, really excited about that. I think we're going to do great things together. It's a lot easier to collaborate with if you share the same mindset. So I'm truly looking forward to everything we're going to produce together from now onwards.
I agree with everything you said, Heidi. That's where we are going forward. Creative Scandinavian experiences. We said that Idea Nordic created Danish experiences, but together with you, we can do the
We
Scandinavian.
can do anything.
Of
And
course we
thank
can.
you so much, Sabrina, for being here today. I mean, I've pulled you into a lot of things, and I hope you enjoyed most of them. But we're nowhere near done, so it's only going to get bigger and better and more fun and more exciting and more innovative. I think that's what we all can agree on.
Absolutely. That at the end of the day, it's about experiences, it's about creating memories, it's about providing authenticity and leaving positive legacy and footprints behind, which all of us do, and I've experienced for both Idea Nordic and the Minds Guru that they provide. I'm very excited to have been part of this launch. Thank you to anyone and everyone that's been watching. If you have any questions about groups and programs in Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and the Nordics in general, Faroe Islands, anything to do with Edward Munch, any of that, contact Pedro or Heidi. They're both on LinkedIn. They both have pages on LinkedIn. They're both on Instagram. Reach out to the companies, and they will definitely look after all your Nordic needs. I wanted to say that for a really long time.
Oh, Nordic needs. Love it.
And everyone, thank you for joining. Those of you who are in Germany and get today off, happy holiday. And those of you who don't, I'm really sorry you live on that part or that side of Germany. But have a great weekend coming up, everyone. And thank you, Pedro, and thank you, Heidi. I'm super, super excited about this alliance. I know you will both do fantastic things, and I cannot wait to hopefully work with the both of you on different projects, or even the same project. Who knows? It could be.
You have a minute after this.
Well, Heidi, I'm having dinner with Sabrina on Saturday. Are you available to come to Copenhagen?
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, so you're planning to Copenhagen.
All right.
You see, it's a family, like I said. All right, thank you everyone for joining us. Take care, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.